Welcome to the Dig Dive. Today we're digging into a pretty specific piece of AV tech. It's the A-Neuvideo ANI-62HDRH matrix switcher. We're looking at the specs, sure, but really trying to understand what it tells us about, the high-end AV market and why one little compliance detail is so important. Okay, so at its core, think of this thing as like a traffic cop for fancy video signals. It handles 6 inputs, 6 sources, and sends them out to 2 different displays, a 6x2 setup.
Right, and for anyone doing professional installs, the numbers matter immediately. This switcher is fast. We're talking 18 gigabits per second bandwidth. That's 600 megahertz, full HDMI 2.0 speed. And that speed, that's what gets you true 4K resolution at 60 frames per second, 60 hertz.
Now, 4K, that term gets thrown around. The specs here mention something specific. YUV 4.4.4 at 8-bit. Why is that 4.4.4 bit so critical? Most home stuff uses 4.2.0, right?
Yeah, that's a key distinction. It's really about professional versus consumer needs. See, 4.4.4 means full color information, no compression, basically, on the color data. Consumer video, like streaming, uses 4.2.0. Kind of cheats on the color detail because our eyes aren't as sensitive to it as brightness. It saves bandwidth. But if you're showing, say, a computer desktop, detailed text, medical images, you need 4.4.4. Absolutely need it for clarity and color accuracy. It's uncompressed video, essentially.
Okay, so 6 HDMI inputs, 2 outputs, handles this high-fidelity 4K video. Plus, it's compliant with HDCP 1.4 and 2.2 for copy protection and passes HDR through. Good standard stuff for today. But I noticed something interesting. It says it supports 16-bit deep color, but only up to 1080p resolution at 60 hertz. Why bother with that if the main selling point is 4K? Seems a bit odd.
Well, that's actually a hint about its target market, versatility. 16-bit deep color isn't really common for, like, movies or TV, but you might find it in very specific niche applications. Maybe older medical imaging gear, some scientific visualization, stuff that needs that extra color depth but maybe runs at a lower resolution. So it shows this box can handle some legacy or specialized needs alongside the modern 4K stuff. It covers more bases.
Makes sense. Okay, let's shift to management features. HDMI already carries audio, pretty high-quality audio usually. So why does a pro switch like this need an audio de-embedding feature? Is that just like an old legacy thing?
No, not at all. That's actually super important for system integrators. This is kind of an aha feature. It lets you pull the audio out from the HDMI signal, specifically the audio linked to whatever source is currently active on each of the 2 HDMI outputs. And it sends that audio out separately over optical toslink connections.
Ah, okay, so you could run the video cable to the screen.
Exactly. And run a separate optical cable straight to a dedicated audio system, like a high-end amplifier or processor.
Gives you way more flexibility in how you route the sound, independent of the video path.
Precisely. Vital in complex setups.
Right. And speaking of complex setups, it looks like it's got serious EDID management for folks maybe not installing these daily. What is EDID and why manage it?
Yeah, EDID, Extended Display Identification Data. It's like a digital handshake. The display tells the source device, like a Blu-ray player or computer, what it can handle. Resolutions, audio formats, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes things don't talk nicely. An installer might need to manage that handshake, maybe force a specific setting using one of the 6 built-in EDIs, or even copy the EDI from one display to make sure everything plays nice, like preventing a 4K source from sending a signal an older projector just can't understand.
Got it. Control issues. And speaking of control, this thing has a lot of options. Front panel button, sure, but also a web GUI, Telnet, RS-232, even an IR remote. Those RS-232 and Telnet ports, that really screams professional integration, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That's the sign it's meant to live inside a bigger system.
Huh.
RS-232 and Telnet, or IP control via the web GI. Those are the standard ways you connect equipment to master control systems. Think Crestron, AMX, systems that run entire boardrooms, command centers, you name it. This switcher needs to be controllable by that central brain.
Okay, so all these technical chops, the bandwidth, the features, that's like the baseline requirement, the table stakes for this level. But there's this other major factor mentioned right in the product listing, TAA compliance. It specifically says it's TAA compliant when you buy it from HDTV Supply. What's that all about?
Right, TAA, that's the Trade Agreements Act. And it's crucial. Basically, it means the product is manufactured or substantially transformed in the U.S. or a designated country. And that compliance is what makes it eligible for purchase by the U.S. federal government or government contractors and resellers. So the tech is great, yes, but the TAA compliance, that opens the door to a huge and often lucrative government and public sector market.
Which probably explains the price point, too. Currently listed around, what, $730, down from nearly $900 MSRP. That's not consumer pricing.
Exactly. It's priced for that enterprise and government space where compliance is non-negotiable.
So summing it up, this isn't just a switcher. It's a high-bandwidth 4K routing solution built for environments needing rock-solid technical performance, flexible control, and strict regulatory compliance.
You nailed it. It's a specialized tool for a specific job.
Which brings us to a final thought. This device really highlights how tech doesn't exist in a vacuum. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much do these non-technical rules, like TAA compliance, actually dictate the technology that gets specified and used? How often are these organizational or governmental requirements, rather than just pure features, the real driver behind choosing very specific, specialized hardware? Something to think about.